In July 2026, you could open a newspaper and read that median home prices are falling, jobless claims just hit a 50-year low, and global oil flows remain surprisingly steady. But if you ask a first-time homebuyer trying to close on a house or a freelancer looking for steady work, they will tell you a completely different story. These surface-level metrics mask the structural friction building beneath the surface of the broader economy. Understanding the actual real-world trajectory of the market requires carefully checking the specific mechanics driving housing, labor, and global energy. Making financial decisions based on those initial headlines alone is a fast track to misjudging the market entirely. Let's start with housing. Recently, headlines highlighted a 3.3% month-over-month drop in the median price of a new home. This chart shows a mathematical quirk known as a composition effect. This happens when the specific mix of what people are buying changes, even if the value of individual items stays the exact same. In June, there was a sudden spike in sales for homes priced under $300,000. Selling a huge volume of cheaper homes mathematically pulls the overall median calculation down, but it doesn't mean your specific house is suddenly worth less. When we look at actual home values using the ICE Home Price Index, prices are actually up 1.7% from last year, tracking at a steady 3% annualized pace. So real estate equity is still growing. Even a modest 3% gain on a $500,000 home adds $15,000 in equity over a single year. The labor market has a similar distortion. New weekly unemployment claims just fell to 187,000, the lowest level since 1969. Yet continuing unemployment claims are stuck at a massive 1.8 million. Part of the reason those new claims are so low is a giant administrative bottleneck. Labor Secretary Keith Sonderling recently mandated strict new identity verification rules to crack down on COVID-era fraud, and that mandate is severely delaying new filings. Additionally, the structure of the workforce has shifted. More people are taking on freelance contracts or gig work to make ends meet, which entirely disqualifies them from applying for traditional unemployment benefits in the first place. Because continuing claims remain elevated at the exact same time new claims are artificially dropping, we can see that unemployed workers are actually struggling for much longer to find jobs. The claims data currently fails to capture the full scope of labor market weakness or the reality of the modern gig-based workforce. Over in the energy sector, global oil flows look surprisingly resilient on paper. Even with escalating tensions between the US and Iran, about 14 million barrels of crude oil per day are successfully making it out of the Middle East. This map shows how those flows are maintained. Roughly half of that oil is bypassing the Strait of Hormuz entirely, traveling instead through the Saudi East-West pipeline directly to the Red Sea. But that workaround faces an imminent threat. The Iran-backed Houthi group recently proposed a maritime blockade specifically targeting Saudi Arabia. If enacted, this blockade directly compromises the security of those exact backup shipping routes, threatening an instant bottleneck on the global supply chain. Current price stability relies on a precarious balancing act, leaving the global supply chain vulnerable to any regional disruption. This messy, contradictory web of data is exactly what policymakers have to navigate in the week ahead. We are about to get hit with a wave of major reports that could swing the markets, including the Case-Shiller housing data, the PCE inflation metric, the first estimate for second quarter GDP. All of this information feeds directly into the Federal Reserve's upcoming two-day policy meeting, culminating in a highly anticipated interest rate decision on Wednesday afternoon. While we wait to see what the Fed decides, you might want a distraction. July 28th is National Milk Chocolate Day, making it a great excuse to temper some melted chocolate into egg yolks and whip up a dark chocolate mousse. True financial literacy requires looking past the surface-level numbers to see the actual mechanics at work. Hit subscribe, and we will break down the Fed's final decision right here next week.